Welcome to the channel and the stream, everybody. This is Books Nelson with At Me Bro, going for another card deep dive. Here we have Ruby Kenny Walker. Now I know everyone is absolutely drunk with the possibilities of Vince Carter, Opal Vince, Opal MJ, and glitched LeBron. As well, they should be. However, most of the community is not going to get those cards, but everybody can get Kenny Walker. So we're going to find out if he's worth your time or not. All right. So the thing about Kenny is he's a Ruby card. He's an 89, which means he can work on your low overall squads, keeping those, especially if you're trying to avoid those LeBrons, those Magics. you want to run those 86 overall teams. That's really what this guy is for. There's no real reason to run this card in a main squad because, quite frankly, I mean, he's solid. He's solid, but I do think there are some budget options. The one I always default to is Landry Fields. Landry Fields basically has everything. But I will say about this Kenny Walker card, he does have clamps and pogo stick, and he's a and chase down artist. So he actually should be better defensively than people think he's going to be because he's 6'8", he's super athletic, which means he should block a lot of shots with that chase down. Chase down gets triggered by your speed and your athleticism and your vertical and stuff like that. And again, take it from a guy who's played these defensive characters in Pro-Am and Park and stuff. That's what makes it. The block rating is way secondary to the combination of speed and vert with this badge. I thought I messed up my build by not putting block, and I get blocks all the time. And the same thing happens in my team. I'm not just taking that info and blindly bringing it over here. I've seen it happen in my team where those athletic cards with chase down artists get blocks that you look at their block rating, you wouldn't think they're supposed to get. So that's worth noting. He's got gold, quick first step, and thank God because he has no other playmaking badges. He does have this downhill, which again, is a very, very athletic card. And I'm glad we're looking at this card because I don't think this card should be slept on. He might, for those, you might do way better going 12-0 with this card than if you are just facing God squads over and over again. So he's got the gold quick draw, gold catch and shoot, really big for him. And then every dunk badge in the book. And does he have Hall of Fame Slithery? No okay, he doesn't have Slithery, which is worth noting. No Slithery. He's got everything else that he needs, but no Slithery and no fancy footwork. We're going to do badge videos on this channel specifically to my team so that you guys have a solid understanding of what the badges do, because I do think there's some shaky badge information out there and we need to start busting those mysteries. So I'm going to take a quick look at his ratings. So we see he's a very solid shooter. This is with coaching boosts. He has an 88 3 ball. Now, he doesn't have range extender, but you know my theory. I don't think everybody needs range extender. I think 3 people on the court need range extender. After that, depending on your play style, you can be a little more flexible with it. Good free throw. Excellent driving layup. 98 standing dunk. I think that makes this card really serious in triple threat. This might be a really, really good triple threat online card. And I think a lot of people review cards only thinking of MyTeam Unlimited, but for my money, I mean, triple threat is a lot of fun and much more rewarding. So I think a lot of you guys are playing triple threat online. So when I do these card reviews, I am thinking of triple threat as well. I'm not just thinking of MyTeam Unlimited. If a card is a monster in triple threat, I think Anthony Davis is probably the best overall triple threat card. You can talk to me about Giannis, but you can play Ben Simmons or Magic Johnson, and if you're playing those cards, you want Anthony Davis next to you more so than Giannis, right? Giannis is a primary card, but AD's the best secondary card in the game. So anyway, 90 ball handle with the coaching boost. Yeah, this guy he might have a little something. He doesn't have a real post game. And the one negative I would say so far on this card, besides the fact that he just doesn't quite have the badges to make him OP from a shooting standpoint, he's not a great rebounder for a 6'8 card, but he does have an 86 perimeter defense and an 86 interior defense. Ooh, this guy seems like a lot of fun in triple threat. Let me tell you, for a Ruby, keep in mind this is a Ruby. We're going by the Ruby standard. If you play Galaxy Opal Brandon Roy, you got to be ready to face Galaxy Opal whoever. When you play Ruby Kenny Walker, you might only be facing Ruby whoever, and he's going to win most of his Ruby matchups. So this card looks really good. Now we go into the animations. Well, first let's see his jumper. Solid jumper. Yeah, really nice jumper, actually. Really, really nice jumper. You can feel that the green window is fairly big. I'm kind of hovering around range extender, but I just want to see how the shot feels in that area. This isn't quite range extender yet. Yeah, this guy can hit. Let's check in the regular ranges. I would say his jump shot is just slightly on the slower shot side, but it's not Jim Jackson slow. It's one of those jumpers that, you know, those jumpers that are slower, but you don't mind because they feel like it makes it easy for you to hit that jumper. That's what his jumper feels like. I'm just trying to find the green window. I see where it is. Just have to hit it now. Should be right about there. No, a little later. A little later. All right, so I will say his green, this could be human error, but his green window seems a little bit on the small side. Because it's right before his fingers move forward. And you see a couple full whites there. So he might be a bit of a full white monster. Then you see his hot zones. And it could be that you might just have to shoot in his hot zones to get to be really consistent with him. But he does have the corners. So that's good. Yeah, his green window feels significantly bigger in his hot zone. But yeah, his shot is good. It's not great. I would say it's probably a B as far as shots go. So let's look at his full court dribbles. That's the main thing with this guy. Is he's 6'8". Oh, nice between the legs. Oh yeah, yeah, solid between the legs there. Let's try that again. See if we can see what the combos look like. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this cheese ball. Look at this cheesy fool. Ooh. Okay. All right, Kenny. See the behind the back. Bad behind the back though. Don't do that. A really slow crossover, but he has a good between the legs. Let's check his hesitation branches. Oh, nice hesitation cross. Okay, there's a big pause in his hesitation right stick crossover. See that big pause there? And he's not a shooter, so there's no real plus to doing that. Let's see his hesitation left stick cross. Very nice. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. This guy, while overall Klay Thompson is probably the best Ruby card for like 5v5, this is probably the best overall Ruby card for Triple Threat Online. Like, I guarantee you, he's going to blow some people up. And even against God Squads, there's going to be some people that are like, how is this card doing this to me right now? Because he just moves, like, you can just tell, like, he's big and he starts his dunks from really far out. I think this is a good card. This is probably one of the more fun cards in the game. Shout out to my boy Spack. You're going to probably really like this Kenny Walker card. Sham God's kind of glitchy too. One thing I'll say about his dribbles is a lot of his dribbles, there's a little pause before he does. You see that? But look at how glitchy that Sham God was. He did like 2 Sham Gods at once. I'm sure he traveled. Yo, he does like a double Sham God. What is happening with this guy? This card is a lot of fun. He's 1,000 MT right now. This is the easiest 1,000 MT I could see spending. Like, this guy's super fun. Yeah, good hesitation behind the back, and he's just going to be a dunk machine, and he's going to hit from the corners. That's going to be this card's MO. He's not really a one-on-one scorer, but let's see what else he has in that realm. So let's see his, well, first let's test his in and out and his half spin. In and out, it's a slide on his in and out. This card is so glitchy. It's almost like they didn't finish his dribbles. And look at that, he almost turned completely around. This is one of the most unique dribble packages I've seen on a card. And the dunking is just outrageous. He's an elite dunker, whether or not you account for the fact that he's a Ruby. He's like a totally elite dunker. You see that spin? He has like the 2K18 center spin where he spins instantly in one spot. Yeah, this card is kind of wild. I'm not going to lie. This card is definitely kind of wild. Look at that. You see that? Who else is coming in here showing you how glitchy the Kenny Walker card is? This guy is crazy. So far, he has excellent between the legs. He has an excellent hezzy right stick crossover. He has a really glitchy Sham God where he does a double Sham God if you go in the same direction. He like does a double. Let me see if I'll do a full court. So if you do the Sham God with him, which is right stick towards the ball hand and then crossover, hezzy cross. He does like, sometimes he does this double Sham God where he dribbles again with the same hand. It's really weird. There he goes. He just did it. You saw that? He did like a little mini Sham God after the first Sham God. That's crazy. To be honest, I don't know how effective that's going to be, but it's just funny that he has that. He does have the behind the back. Let's check his momentum cross. Solid momentum cross. See his double momentum. Nice double momentum. Look at the step back. Average step back. It's not vulnerable. It's like Clyde step back, but faster. Who has that? I think maybe Steph has that. It's like, see, Clyde puts the ball out first, and then the dots show up, and then he does a step back. This is that without the flaw. The ball, like he immediately starts stepping back. You see, he's already moving as the dots appear. The dots don't appear first, so you might still get ripped. But let's see how that looks out of a combo. Yeah, it's a good step back because you can combo out of it, and then use this quick first step to launch. So that's, I would say that's a good step back. Let's check his, let's see his momentum behind the back and momentum spin. Momentum behind the back is pretty good. It's not as good as Chauncey's. Chauncey has no pause in his momentum behind the back. He has a little pause, but he's 6'8", so it's kind of like, it's fine. See his momentum spin, which should be crazy looking because he has a weird set of spins. Let me tell you something. If somebody who was like really good at the stupid glitchy park stuff got a hold of this character, I'm almost certain there's some weird rollouts you can do. I'm going to learn that stuff just for you guys, just so if any of you have any interest in like playing like a nut burger, you can know how to do that stuff and which cards are good at that. I don't think it's priority. I do think it's only something that'll work in triple threat because you need a lot of space for that stuff to work. Like the card kind of has to run all over the place. So it's not as good in general MyTeam as it is in Park. But you can see there, like he started to do his spin and then he stops. You see that? That's, let me tell you something. If a good shooter, not that he's a bad shooter, but you know what I mean. If a shooter with range extender and dunking ability like a Wade gets this guy's spin moves, that card's going to be really stupid. Somebody's going to be glitching you out in triple threat, and you're just going to have to suffer and take the L. Because this card is really glitchy. In fact, I would imagine that, like, if I gave this guy to like a Steezo or somebody like that, they could go in and score 21 points with him over and over and over again because he has really glitchy spin moves. Ooh, he's got a really nice between the legs too. So his standing between the legs, this is when you're behind a screen and people are playing up on you, this between the legs is a nice way to activate quick first step and immediately go to the basket, right? Because the quick first step activates, once the ball's at the hip, you can really like launch, depending on, like, so with Jimmy Butler, this is really strong because Jimmy Butler has that Hall of Fame quick first step. So that between the legs dribble is really important if you so choose to use it in that situation. The same as if you're in this protect dribble, the behind the back becomes important because if you behind the back out of that, you can jump from behind the screen into your dribble and your dunk, right? That's super strong. He has a really nice size up behind the back too there to kind of even himself out. More important in shooters, but again, when you have goal quick first step and you're a great dunker, you know, you can get to the rest of your dribbles from this stance right here. And you can see right into the momentum dribble. And then he basically starts dunking as soon as he's inside the three-point line. Oh, you never heard of Kenny Skywalker? Yeah, man, he's a former Knicks old school dunk legend. That's probably why he's in here for the dunk contest exploits. I mean, it's old school dunks, so it's back when guys got away just jumping really high and making a face. You know, now you got to like tie your shoes in midair to impress anybody. Yeah, he's got a bit of a killer cross too. Let me tell you something. This Kenny Walker card is dope. I definitely put him into the Fun Card Hall of Fame. He has actually a fantastic killer crossover. This guy's an elite slasher. Can the standing dunk be utilized? Yeah, so the thing about standing dunk is off of rebounding, right? It's off of rebounding and really important when the cards are moving. So to quickly break it down, say you're playing triple threat online, right? And they double, and your guy's here, and then you do the lead pass, and he catches it right here. If they don't have standing dunk, they're going to do one of these layup animations, right? And the guy, if I'm playing Anthony Davis and you start that layup animation, I can be here, and I can turbo into the paint and block you. But if you have the standing dunk animations and you catch it in this situation, look how much faster that is. That's where the standing dunk is useful, is to avoid those really slow under the basket layup situations. I'm not going to read your name out loud, Doctor. I'm going to just call you Doctor. All right? You said in game he doesn't dunk that much. Maybe it's just an off game. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, definitely with dunking characters, you have to see what situations they dunk in. I think there's a lot of secret sauce that goes into why characters dunk and why characters don't. So that's an in-game thing. You know, I can just show what dunks he has, and he has excellent dunks. In fact, we should probably get to that now. Just wanted to quickly look at his. He's just really glitchy with his spin moves. That's the main thing I would say with this character. It's like really glitchy with his spins. His spins all spin in one shot, and they're highly interrupted. You see how he's kind of, swiveling back and forth in one spot. This is a very glitchy card. And he has a really nice dribble package across the board. Let's check out his hesitations before we move into his layups and dunks. Oh, that is a horrible hesitation. At least for what I like to do. Maybe. Ugh. Well, never doing that. Okay, so if you use this card, definitely left trigger hesitation. This, I don't know what kind of big man hesitation they gave him. That is awful. I'll explore this, and if I find a use for it, I will let you guys know. So far as I know, that's just an F tier animation. If anybody has information on how to use that, let me know. But I'm going to call that a big, gigantic fail. So with this card, if you're doing hesitations, definitely press the left trigger. Definitely press the left trigger. Out of the left trigger, hold right trigger and hold towards the basket, and you'll get that change of direction there. Obviously, if you hold right trigger and go the same way, you'll get that explosion there. And then from there, you can branch into whatever you want. You can, explode and then snatch back off of that. You can do a lot of branches. It's not ideal. Look, this is a Ruby card, not a Galaxy Opal. Some compromises have to be made. But yeah, you can snatch back into your jumper. That's going to be pretty strong with him because he's such a great dunker that people should be afraid and have to respect this. Respect him as a slasher. He has all the good layup badges too. So he's 6'8". Him going for the layups isn't the worst thing in the world. So yeah, I would say this is a good card. In triple threat, I would say he's better than Klay. I would rather use this card in triple threat than Klay. I would rather use Klay in unlimited than this card. And quite frankly, I would probably play both of them on a low overall squad because they're both 89s. So you can use both of these cards and keep those overalls down. But yeah, I think he's a very good card. All right, let's check these dunk animations before we get up out of here. But yeah, I recommend picking this card up. Again, it's not to go on your main team. That would be crazy at this point in the year. But for your low overall squad and for a triple threat online, you want to bring those overalls down a little bit. Yeah, definitely break out Kenny Walker. See, he jumps really high, and the main thing is he starts his dunks from really far away, which makes it very hard to contest dunks. Like I started that from the 3-point line. I started that from the 3-point line. So that's the main thing with his dunking. Like obviously he has great dunk packages across the board, but he can start his dunks from really, really far out, which gives him that momentum, which is basically a GG. Even off of a mild dribble, he does it. Yeah, his running lateral behind the back, I agree, is very, very fast. Very, very fast. I wonder why they keep giving slashers that really fast behind the back. All right, so we're going to look at his layup animations before we get out of here. But I have to say, this card, I like him. I like this card a lot for what he is. For a Ruby card, yeah, he's an elite Ruby card. He's in the Ruby All-Star team, that's for sure. So far, I think I would probably only put 3 cards on that team because you need clamps. Norman Powell, Klay Thompson, and Kenny Walker. But yeah, those cards are dope. You play those cards in your Ruby, low overall squad, and you are at a significant advantage if somebody else is playing Rubies that aren't those. And in that sense, he's very top tier. But he's top tier in his tier, right? He's obviously not top tier when you start bringing in diamonds and pink diamonds. But yeah, I like the card a lot. All right, let's look at his layups. So this is ball hand, right hand. Very nice. Looks like the long athlete package, maybe. You see the speed up, like my boy Brandon Ingram, who I still miss. Whoa, that is a really good layup. Guys, this is a really good card. This is a really, really good card. And he's cheap because he's a Ruby and we're at this point in the year, but he's also cheap because people are getting this card while they're trying to get LeBron and Michael Jordan. And they're just, he's flying out of packs. But I would definitely say there's no reason not to own this card. He's not worth anything on the market, but in Triple Threat Online, if you use this card properly, he's a beast. Just stay away from his hezzy is the main thing. Take those dunks from really far away. Learn that jumper. Try to shoot from his hot spots mainly because he is a bit of a full white machine from what I can tell. Although I don't have the timing yet, so I don't like to say that with less than an hour shooting, really looking for that green window. But I am noticing that I'm getting a lot more greens from his hot spots and a lot more full whites from outside of his hot spots. But I would still say his shot's good. Maybe a B+ for his shot. I'm sure somebody out there will master his shot and just be a monster with it. But you guys have seen me shoot around. You guys know who you watch my videos. Usually once I find a green window, you see a lot more greens. I'm seeing a lot of full whites. Is that a hot spot? Yeah, that's a hot spot. So he's a hot zone shooter character. Like if you can shoot in his hot zones, it feels like you're going to make more shots if you stick to his hot zones. And he has really good hot zones because they're symmetrical. So you can play the same way on both sides of the court. Now again, this card is such a good slasher. Most of his shooting is going to be in the corner here. And if you're up here, you're probably looking to bang on somebody. I mean, why would you play this card if you're not looking to just make somebody quit, you know, close app? He's a close app character for sure. But I like him. I like Kenny Walker. I give him a big thumbs up. I got him for 900 MT. For 900 MT, there's very few cards you can get that are this good at 900 MT. All right, so I hope this was valuable for those of you looking for this card. Thank you so much for your support. And we will be back with, I think the only one left that I have is Shaquille O'Neal. So maybe the next time you see me might be for a pack opening. Might be for a pack opening. You guys see all the greens in the hot zone. So which shows I have the green window. It's just he's a bit of a full white monster outside of his green thing. He's not gonna always do it, but there he is. Oh, there we go, Kenny. See, I just needed to make friends with Kenny. We just needed to get more familiar. Kenny's a little shy. All right, but yeah, this Kenny card, he's an absolutely silly dunker. He's got some phenomenal dribbles, really glitchy spins. Just stay away from his right stick hezzy. It's absolutely F tier. Don't do it. Do all your hezzies with the left stick, and you should be good to go. All right, have fun. I'll see you in the next one.